playoffs.
Yep.
But for the regular season, this is the last time, and just because regular season is ending after this day, so
Yeah.
there's no chance for them to meet in their season 6 regular season.
Yep.
After this, Execration though, going straight for a ban on the Hilda and the Jawhead. Omega will get that Khalid ban going on for their side.
Lots of emphasis on bans against Heath here for Omega, which is definitely one of the biggest assets as well for Omega. Super underrated, very consistent, and he is a fundamental player. He does get those fundamentals down. He has everything locked in. That's why it's so difficult to make a mistake around this guy, because he knows how to capitalize.
And yeah, we are seeing an Esmeralda getting banned here for the side of Omega. They don't want to give that to the side of Execration, as they utilize that to its full potential. And they can even put that on hate onto the middle lane. They have a lot of things going on here for the side of Omega. And Execration, it looks like they're just gonna ban out the Roger. They don't want it to go for Omega. And Execration here, they're just banking on the fact that Hate has more heroes. Hate has more hero options than Haji, just because, ladies and gentlemen, there is going to be the first pick material for the side of Execration. So if they just go for that carry at the second and third pick, that means for the side of Omega, you're clearly going to have to release that Haji hero by the time we reach the first two picks on their side, and that's going to be not really the best position for Haji to carry the team.
Haji on the land slot has always been a lot of fun, and same with the Link. So I think those are a lot of some of the options that Haji can definitely go for. But at the same time, these are heroes that Hate really likes to play as well. So they're gonna have a bit of a tug of war in terms of those picks. And now, here we go with the Barretts. So far, 0 for 1 in terms of win rate. And Selena, Omega always so happy to pick that up for Hayes.
Toshi, Heath.
There you go, Lancelot.
Yeah, they really just focus on getting that Lancelot as soon as possible, and they were just baiting on the side of Omega to choose that. If they chose like a Lancelot or a Uranus and a Selena, or a Selena plus a Lancelot, then that means you're gonna give up one meta hero to the side of Execration, and they got a lot from that because their first pick.
First pick's looking real good here so far for Execration. A lot of comfort. And Benny Cutie has always been happy to take that show whenever he's given the chance. And there you go, the classic matchup. Lancelot versus the Ling for Omega.
Let's check how will the bans pan out here. Omega doesn't have the tank and another side laner. For the side of Execration, they are probably lacking a side laner, a support. Yeah, a side laner, a support, or a tank. Just because the show is very flexible.
Cho. Is there a possibility of Chakno even using this show?
Yeah, he's been using that. He's been using that for quite a long time.
It's been
now.
a while since I've seen that, so it's going to be a big possibility, and still a flex pick for Execration apparently. Now, on to the second rotation bans. They're really buying out their time in thinking about that ban. Natalia is going to be the one they don't want to deal with, which is historically has been used as well. Chakno also, surprisingly, is very fond of that pick as well.
And Ruby is the ban here for the side of Execration. Rockhart, I think the stability of the side lanes here is quite a bit of a, how do I say this, problem for the side of Execration, just because if you go for the Cho and the Barretts right now, then that means you are putting Omega on a pedestal. Like, these two players, as long as they can control Benny Cutie from just popping with this show, we've seen that time and again. Like, a lot of teams don't focus on Hate anymore because they know that Hate will just pop off, and they have a better chance of shutting down Benny Cutie, just because Benny Cutie doesn't have the support of two supports on the side.
Because of this Kufra and Atlas ban, it just makes the Cho Chaknu combination likely. Now, Chaknu can also play around with this Barretts, who knows? I mean, he's a possible holder of that Barret still fighter tank. So
I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah,
yeah,
correct.
I mean, Chaknu's been known to play Natalia even as a tank role. It's not out of the question. So, and with these big tank picks being banned out for both of these teams, things are gonna start to get a little heated up here as we go into second pick rotation.
Yeah, but it's somewhat how do I say this? It's somewhat surprising to see the Atlas getting banned here for the side of for the side of Omega. But if you think about it, it's all about Chaknu and the capabilities of this guy just using those heroes that has high engage impact or high engage mechanics or initiation mechanics on his kit. Omega getting that Akai, this will be the Heath hero for sure.
So yeah, that's going to be the Heath hero. Are we still thinking about Angela? Still a big possibility for Omega here.
Still is.
Yep, Angelink worked very well in the previous matchup on game 2, and if Omega was watching that, they would say, you know what, we have an Angel player as well, why don't we go ahead and throw that there? Now this Grok is something that a lot of people probably were not expecting.
Grok, one of the fallen heroes of MPL. For the longest time, Grok has been picked for the longest time since Season 1 to Season 4. But right now, for Season 5 and Season 6, there is a decline. And actually, this isn't the first time that Grok went out for a game. But you know what? Compared to the pick rate that he has or the ban rate that he has for the certain the previous seasons, this is actually quite sad to see this hero just fall off.
Yeah, I think so. I think this hero is definitely one of those heroes that was almost 100% pick and banned, especially on Season 4. But now it's just like, it's such a situational hero anymore that a lot of other tag picks are just a lot better.
And they really like
Freya.
that Grok.
Oh,
and
again!
another Freya that is going to go to Toshi.
Ah.
Kenji will be playing that Uranus, and Hajizi is going to be that Ling. So if you would look at this, they're not putting all their eggs into one basket. They're not just giving it to Toshi. They're not just giving it to Haji to carry them. It's not Haji's sole responsibility to do that.
And we've seen this before.
Yeah,
We've seen this yesterday.
we've seen this yesterday.
So and it worked very well. Like, it's so surprising how quickly they're able to ramp up a Freya with the pure damage lifesteal build. I would not be surprised if this is going to be the focus of Omega here, and it's going to be targeted as well for sure by Execration. So you gotta watch out, and it's gonna be a question of whether or not Toshi can sustain against this very aggressive lineup from Execration.
Yeah, clearly we are going to see and have a fun time here, but we have to look at this, what the Grok can do for the side of Execration. While for the side of Omega, they do have a very standard setup.
I'm already looking for the combo where they're gonna block. They're gonna make a room by using the Guardian's barrier with the wall, and then you're gonna throw the guy in there.
Yeah.
Just my imagination running wild
I
here.
mean, if it works, it works.
Yeah, just make a pit, make a cage.
Make a pit and make them not, be in a good position to actually fight.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Absolutely, for sure. And the double threat lineup from Omega again has resulted to a very high success rate so far, and they made it look easy. I wonder if they can do that again this time.
Look at Chaknu here, just clearing the wave so fast. And still, if Chaknu on that Grok, it's still one of those heroes that can just, clear the wave so fast. But in terms of tankiness, it still has its requirements.
For
You
sure.
have to be sticking to a wall. A lot of things are needed to actually fight this. And look at Benny Cutie, just sizing up his man, measuring if he can go in.
Look at that. Level 3 are already almost at maximum attack speed. And that's just the power of the Freya there. Just really quick attacks means that you can just go straight for damage, go for the critical builds, and you'll still be able to do a lot of threats, even at early stages of the game.
You want to know how annoying those rockets are?
Mm-hmm.
That they push you back, and
Yeah,
you don't even notice them when you're playing that easily.
that's right. It actually slows you down a
Yeah.
little bit, and they really disrupt the flow of your movement.
hmm But you know what? There is Kenji on to the bottom lane. The rockets will be thrown out, but Kenji went to the right position and he avoids that. Hayes, he's not been getting a lot of these arrows to connect for him.
Mm-hmm.
So as long as these arrows don't connect for the side of Omega, I don't think that there is going to be first blood in the near future.
Yeah, they should be fine. I think for the meantime, as long as, again, there you go. Those arrows, as long as they don't hit, there's not going to be like a viable target. They don't have other hard crowd controls aside from Benny, who is
Mhm.
on the top side. So
Yeah.
they can't group up right away.
Look at Benny here, just having one up against Toshi. He's just forcing Toshi to use his skills, and when he doesn't have his ultimate, that's the time where Benny Cutie will just go back, because he knows when he gets back there, he's just gonna force out another skirmish or another fight, another duel with this Freya, and when that does happen, it will pull back, or it would push back Freya from just pushing the waves, clearing the waves, and everything else.
Yeah, you already know it. You already know stuff like that is going to happen. You gotta be careful. And so far, Toshi's doing well with the Freya. He's able to. He has a Purify on this one, by the way, so it's a lot more safe. Here we go.
And look at this.
Big
Oh, look at that. Goodness gracious. He gets her pressed. Hate going in. Who got the turtle? It's going to be Hate. Outer turret energy shield has been dropped in the process. Ben Cutie got a lot up top. The push on the top lane for the side of Execration. It is just going, and it's at 1/4 HP.
That is big. And the first blood, of course, to Sagitnu, taking out Heath from the big fight, actually meant that they got a big 4v5 for like a few solid seconds there. Actually, Hajizi
If-
wasn't even joining that much.
If you think about it, uh, one of the counters against Uranus could be a Barats, just because the Barats doesn't really hit you with physical attacks. It hits you more on the skills, the spammable skills. So
That's
it
true.
could be the Uranus killer in the coming matches. Because right now, Uranus, if you look at him, he's not having a good time. He's not putting that avarice to good use.
That's true. Again, we're not really going to be able to get that much money out of that. There you go, though. Hayes going to be hit by that wild charge. Will be able to walk out there, though. Guardian Barrier a little bit
Oh,
too late.
Toshi, 1v1. Oh, Benny Cutie, just playing around with his food. And as we all know, Toshi right now is going to be helpless with that certain
Yeah,
setup.
it's a bit difficult, especially with the early game there. Especially it's a show, right? So,
Yeah.
man, you gotta be careful.
I mean,
don't have
you,
items yet.
you can win with the trades, you can win with the duels in terms of damage output, but you can't really just pin down. Oh, what was? Oh my goodness, what was that?
Wow.
He gets consumed. Heath using that Hurricane Dance to get away. Hate doesn't have enough damage to take down that Akai, and look at that power of nature. The wild charge is there as well. The arrow won't
Oh,
connect,
boy.
but that doesn't even matter. Omega here, finding their rhythm, finding their groove.
Yep, anti-Cuirass completed for Kenji here means that he's gonna be able to sustain that lane even further. But wow, seriously, even the Freya's probably gonna have a hard time later on when you get zoned out by a Barats, and that's just looking really bad here for Omega. They have to be on point when they go for fights.
But yeah, Omega is doing just right in terms of the counter pressure that this team has. Because if you think about it, for the side of Execration, they want to fight as early as now. Just because that's the nature of a Grog, that's the nature of a Lancelot. You want to fight as much as possible. But for Omega, they want to scale because they have the Freya.
Yep, they want that Freya. They want that Link to be in a good position before they fight. So they're gonna rely a lot on Hayes and Heath to make sure that doesn't happen. To make sure the fights stay within an acceptable limit.
Toshi here, getting a lot up top. He got the turret there as well. But the thing is, on top as well, one more punch on that Omega turret could just take that turret down. So they need to really look after it because no more cheeky plays from the Only Fast. Only Fast is one of the kits of the show that can just take down turrets fast.
Whoa!
And
Toshi.
look at the capability of a free hit to just
My
take down the
gosh.
turrets. Oh my goodness.
Okay, you guys are guarding? Don't worry. I'll just keep hammering away on this one. Let's see if you can reach me.
And it really looked like, ladies and gentlemen, that Execration had full control over this.
What?
Sa Gitno, there was no one in range.
That was sad. Yeah,
There was
quite
no
sad.
one in range. There are still range capabilities that Barrett's cannot exceed. Heath here getting caught out. The arrow will connect. And that is going to be Heath and Hayes connection by the Double H. Oh my goodness. These guys are just playing out of their
Which is
mind.
possible.
Yeah, I mean, if they
But the
can.
problem is there's also a link they need to worry about with Hajizi.
And they cannot defend this. They're just gonna give this up. They're gonna go straight to the
There you
bottom
go.
lane, sa Gitnu. And this is one of the things that the Barretts can do, especially on a duel. That's going to be really hard.
Oh.
And Heath here with well, that was Hayes with a connection onto that arrow. But they won't really force it as Barrett is holding that line very
Yeah.
well.
I think the objective there was just put the Barretts low so that they can go for turtle.
Oh, look
And,
at the top lane.
they're going
Look
for
at
it.
the top lane. There is a fight happening there. It's going to be a 1v1 in
Toshi
Cho.
versus Benny Cutie.
You see, Cho is
He
just
did well.
forced to go back. Oh, that was a good play. That
Good
was
catch.
actually a save. That was something. That was a way to stop that. And Toshi, he died in the process there while having that certain duel against Toshi. But Sagitno here is really tanky. Haji really had to put a lot of effort just to take him down.
Yep. In the end, though, it's gonna be Omega catching up that turtle, and they were able to get things done. Payback is happening on Execration with that top lane push, though, and at least they're getting something for their efforts, which is very little compared to, of course, what Omega did get. Hajizi gonna be a lot more confident this time around on the lane because of that.
And what a nice play for Sagitnu. Using that certain skill or that ultimate to stop Akai from rolling over the Chang'o. It was a clutch play.
Very, very so. And it's actually good because sometimes some ultimates don't really hit Akai because of the Hurricane Dance. But this skill is definitely one of those that really will be able to get through that. And it can stop the Hurricane Dance altogether.
For sure. That is true, Rockhart. Toshi, look at this. They are just trying to control the bottom lane. Chakno here is the next target for Haji Z. Half the damage, but it's maximum effort there.
Maximum effort.
Maximum effort,
For
half
sure.
the damage. Not really the best target for him. I think right now for Ling, he should be focusing onto that Chang'o or Hate. They could just get the kill. But he should be very wary of wherever that show is. That show is gonna kick the lights out of Ling if he
Yep.
ever sees him.
And to be fair, there are multiple targets for Omega, so he's not in that much of a danger. But still, it's something to watch out for. And if your positioning is off, you're really gonna get beaten up.
And as the game progresses, let us see. 10 minutes, 7 minutes, and 30 seconds till we get to the 18-minute mark, and that is the sweet spot. So-called sweet spot for the side of Execration, as they will try to outscale Omega here. Hate not having the best game on the Lancelot. He's not using a marksman right now. Ben Cutie is not using that as well. Shakno here on a 0-0-1. That is actually commendable.
Very much commendable. I mean, considering where they are, and considering the amount of fights that they've been in, like, hello, how are you not going down here? It's always gonna be able to find a way out, which is the reason why at 11 minutes this game is still 2-7. Very, very low kill score game.
There is going to be a rotation here for Benny Cutie. Benny Cutie kicks the light off the lane. It doesn't have the damage to do that. A lot of the flickers, a lot of the dashes will be used onto the middle lane. There is an aggression on Heath, but that's only with the Chang'o and the Grok.
Yep. Big guy here, Sagitnu walking around, proccing the Lord, seeing if they can find some targets. And the problem is the targets are there. They're just not within range. Look at this. Heath making sure that some people are in check. Detona's welcome right into the pit. They're trying to block him out, trying to see if they can pull off that combo that I was talking about, but apparently they can't do that without Chaknu on cooldown with the Guardian's Barrier.
And, well, at least for the Akai, they got the Flicker. Heath here won't have that surprise engagement later. But that is a huge play, not really play, but a huge zoning effort for Heath, as he does not let the people here on the side of Execration to contest that. And that was a bit of a scare for Benecutie.
That was a scare, man. My heart's gonna go, oops. There's a fully charged Freya on the bush. It didn't even complete the Way of the Dragon. That's how scary Toshi is right now on the Freya.
And this is the power of Freya. Once he hits this certain threshold of items, Chakno here getting hit. That isn't really the best target for you. Look at this, Chang'o getting caught out. He will go down. Tempest of Blades is there. Sagitno here going in. He's really trying his best. The Lord will go down in the process, but that doesn't matter as Omega focuses on the other side of the map. And Toshi, given that they have these kinds of heroes, he's not stopping there. He just wants to fight. Execration here. They cannot reach that 18-minute mark. Can they stall? Toshi down. Hagis is still up. And that is going to be game number